If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Top of the hour on a Tuesday morning, the 23rd day of February, 32 degrees in downtown Sylacauga. Sylacauga Mayor Jim Heigl joins us this morning. Mayor, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jim. How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm doing great. Spring is on the way, 70 today or so.
Almost 70 degrees.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
That's golfing weather.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not much of a golfer, but I enjoy 70-degree temperatures.
Oh,
for
yeah,
sure.
don't we, though?
Hey, saw last week with the city council meeting one item on the agenda that you brought forth was the animal shelter here in Sylacauga, which has been an issue for a long time.
As long as I can remember.
Talk a little bit about the animal shelter and where we are now and what you're proposing.
Well, where we are now, our people are getting burned out. Getting people out there to work, we use temp force and everything else, they need direct supervision. And with the COVID, that was another issue we had to shut down. The feral dogs of Avondale, we had to back off on that for a little while, you know, now they're back in. But I think the best thing is have a manager, assistant manager, and 3 technicians. We hire these people here, they will not, technicians, the 3 people who do most of the cleaning and everything else, will not need direct supervision. And that will, and if you got a director and assistant, then they can swap out their weekends and how they want to work it. But it's to be the best way to go because we thank so many people for coming out there volunteering, but it's just not working.
The animal shelter itself, you know, I admit I don't know a whole lot about that. Explain a little bit about it and how many animals come and go through that shelter. And it seems like we've got this issue not just in Talladega County, but nationwide.
Well, we do, and here in Sylacauga, we're being at the south end of the county, we're picking up animals from other counties in the area, and if you don't take them in, they'll go down the road and drop them off. And, you know, and then we're still going to wind up having to take them. It's a couple of thousand a year we take in. Oh, wow. Thank goodness for the feral dogs of Avondale. They get some of them, they transport them down to Florida, New York, different places, you know, the healthy ones. But it is, I mean, when you're looking at a couple thousand dogs a year, you know, and then you got your cats as well. And we got an animal control officer. He does a wonderful job. He's limited to what he can do. People complain about things, you know, say, well, this dog here is here. And he goes out and investigates it and makes sure, you know. But as long as that dog is taken care of, it's not creating a problem, you know, he's sort of got his hands tied. But he does trap several, and he brings them out there to the animal shelter, and we do have to take care of them.
Has the animal shelter been closed?
It has to the feral dogs of Avondale for a while because of the COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And to the public. We couldn't bring them in there under the circumstances. It's getting a little bit better. But if we can get these permanent 5 people on board, it's going to be a lot better operation.
How are we going to do that?
Well, hire them. It's not going to cost that much more for what we're paying temp force and other people. You know, it's not going to be that much more in revenue for the city. And I think it'll be a big asset to the community, and I think the people feel a lot better about our animals in the city of Sylacauga.
What is the process of doing this?
The council. The council, they've already agreed. We've already got one person down there, technician. We're going to hire 2 more. Connie, who is over the director of the animal shelter now, she would stay on. She wanted to leave in April. That's the reason I was trying to push to get all 5 of them in there before that. But she has agreed to extend herself just a little bit. And of course, our street superintendent is over the animal shelter. And he's about burned out. He's got more than he can handle with the street department. So I want to put that animal shelter under the mayor's office where we can keep up with it and keep weekly or monthly reports, finances and everything else, and report this back to the public.
Is it true, Mayor, that people will actually, with the facility closed at night or weekends or whatever, people will actually take animals and just drop them off?
Drop them off. They do on weekends and everything. If they come up there and knock on the door, they can't tell them, said, they've done this before, so listen, we're full, we can't take anymore. And the people will leave, they'll find their dogs and cats down the road there a little way. So they wind up having to take them in anyway.
It's amazing.
It is. And it's extended. I don't know, we put new cages out on the south end of it. The west end over there, we put whole new cages out there to hold them in, plus the cages we have inside. You know, and you got to keep these dogs, when you bring them in, you got to isolate them because you don't know what that animal has. So you got to isolate them, you got to evaluate them, and find out whether they can be grouped with other animals or not, you know.
I can't imagine having to take care of just the cleanliness
It is.
of the shelter.
It is. I mean, indoors and outdoors, plus the feeding. You got all that to consider, you know. You got to water them, you got to wash it down, you got to clean the Clorox. You go in there, it smells like Clorox because they disinfect.
Where's the money come from to do all this?
Most of it, well, you know, we got appropriations to the animal shelter, and people give food and also give us the cleaning materials that we need, whether brushes, rags, or towels, or different types of disinfectants.
So is it $12,000 a year the city gets? Is that how it works?
Well, no, it's a little more than that, but we get $10,000 a year from the county.
Okay.
We're working with Philip Morris now with the county, asking for some help in that respect. We'll be meeting with Talladega, Childersburg, Oak Grove, and seeing how the animals are being held, you know, and see if we can get some help.
Mm-hmm. Sylacauga Mayor Jim Heigl, our guest this morning, and I wanted to ask the mayor to come in to talk about several different items, including the animal shelter. Is it open now?
It's open.
Okay.
It is to the feral dogs of Avondale.
What is the feral dogs? What is that?
Those are the dogs that take out and they healthy animals they transfer to other states that are wanting these animals.
Okay.
And they do a great job. They got the process. They take in some of our dogs, and they got able to do everything except give them the rabies shot. They can't give no rabies shot. That has to be controlled by Connie. You know, people are licensed to it.
You drive through Sylacauga and you'll see a mother dog who's obviously got puppies somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's just one of many you'll see.
That's right. In the Avondale area, that's one. But thank goodness, that's where our animal control officers come in handy. We spot them, we call him, and he goes out there and checks on them, and he may be able to trap them, you know, and find the pups. Another
item that was discussed last week at the council meeting was the Drug and Violent Crime Task Force.
Oh, yes.
In Talladega County. And you know, we're continuing to wrestle with drugs and that kind of stuff. You got the I-20 corridor, you got 280, you got 21, and the city of Sylacauga supports this organization. How do we do that?
It's not only the city of Sylacauga supports the Talladega County Drug Task Force, it's all the cities in the county that support them. Sylacauga's always done it like Ron Johnson used to tell us, police, fire, education, we're basically responsible for. We have to support law. We have to support the Talladega County Drug Task Force to keep those drugs out of the south end of the county. They get a good many of them off of 21 coming in there. Heroin was a big drug. Yeah, they were able to capture a good bit of that, keeping that from coming down here. Yes, we're going to have these little meths and other things that people come in with, but it takes so much. I mean, people come to me and say, well, I know they're over here doing drugs, they're doing drugs. Well, I can report it to the police, but they got to build a case. If you haven't got a strong case, you go in there before the judge and say, listen, you can't, he's not going to.
And we see it happen.
It does. We have one over there in Walnut, the third time he was caught before they get him to prison, because it took that long to get the evidence. He was a felon, already had 2 felonies. They finally got him with the 3rd one, and that locked him up. It takes time in the courts.
How much does Sylacauga fund the Talladega County Violent Crime Task Force?
Well, they're asking for $82,000 this year. We have always, it's always gone up as long as I can go back to 2006 and all. It's always gone up a little bit each year. And the cost is the value of the dollar is not as great. The needs are a lot greater, and it costs money. But we have to protect our young people, our children. We've got to educate them, trying to keep them away from this stuff. And we have to depend on the Talladega County Task Force and our city police to protect us from these things.
District Attorney Giddens asking for more money.
Yes, the need is there. Everything is needed. So money is just one of them.
Where do we come up with the monies that we appropriate for?
Well, as you know, our tax revenue was up. most of that is gone. We've got a good bit of money in engineering for projects with the Parks and Rec, and we finally got somebody, the bid went out for the 2018-19 grant, so that's on the table now. We're ready to move with that one. We got a garbage contract. It's just a little bit more than the last one, not a whole lot. It was $13.40-something a household, plus the extra garbage can. If you get one, used to be $5. I think it's going to be $8 now. And but it takes money.
Special call meeting of the council this week.
This afternoon at 4 o'clock.
What's that about?
They want to ratify the garbage contract.
Okay. Okay. Sylacauga Mayor Jim Heigl, our guest this morning, has been quiet about the proposed new Civic complex. What's going on with that?
It's still out there on the table. We haven't moved on it yet. ED&T Engineering, the biggest thing they came back with was the bid opening. I was surprised they had 4 people to bid on that contract, the 18 and 19 TAP grant. And thank goodness we got one to take it. And but that's been the focus so far, because we have these TAP grants. You got it, once you get it, you got 2 years to have it bidded out. And what they did with this one, they took the 18 and 19. I wasn't for it, but anyway, they went to 18 and 19. I'd rather get the 18 out of the way, which is from 5th to 6th Street, and get that out of the way, and then go to 2019. But they combined both of them, and that created just a little bit issue and cost. The estimate of the contracts, when they first bidded them out, I think they anticipated probably be about 1.6, 1.8. And the 3 bids that came in over $2 million. So the LDOT said that you need to try to rebid it again, which we did, and that put us off quite a while. And that's money. You got to advertise all this stuff, and of course the bidders, they put in about $1,000 to get their package together to bid on it.
All right, locations. It's my understanding there's several locations being looked at. Is that correct?
It has been mentioned, as you talking about the community
complex,
center.
yes.
Yeah, well, main thing was the Food World building on Main Avenue. And then it was mentioned again about the Comer softball complex. We've got plenty of property out there at Appendale, the old, what was that? They had the dairy out there. It's called the Dairyland now. Yeah. And they got plenty
time ago.
Oh yeah, beautiful property.
Yeah.
It's just got a lot of overgrowth on it right now, but it is beautiful property. But that was another place that was brought up into discussion.
Well, spring will be here before long. Summer will be here, and no swimming pool.
Well, no swimming pool. I saw the drawings yesterday. It was artist conception, cover up the pool, flatten it out, and put the holes in the ground, let the water shoot up.
That must be some of your friends calling you about that.
I must have said the wrong thing.
You must have. So is that something we're looking at right there at that location where the former pool was?
Yes, that's what the plans are now. Now the council's been working on this 3 years ago. A lot of this stuff, what they've already approved, what happened 3 years ago, bringing EDT in and let them do this. And then we had the LWCF grants that came in. We had a lot of issues that with our parks, plus the pool and everything else that had violation, we had to get all that cleaned up. I was hoping that we'd get an LWCF grant and help us get Lake Louise cleaned up like we did Lake Howard, but Lake Howard was not an LWCF grant. We did that with our own money, so with the help of the Utilities Board. But yeah, I'd love to see Lake Louise cleaned up as well, but it's going to take time. We get too many pokers in the fire. But our tax revenue was up, as you know, the President Council mentioned. It was pretty close to $500,000 over the last year, sales tax revenue. And the COVID, that's one good part of it's no good part of COVID, but it kept people at home shopping here at home. We do have other businesses. We got a new pizza place that's going to come to us, going to build a new building.
Is that a change?
It'll be a change.
Okay.
Big Lots. They got that building stable. It's good for occupation now, and they're going to start building that.
A lot of people ask about Big Lots. When are they going to reopen, or when they're going to reopen?
They're working hard at it. They sure are. And also we got another company. We haven't got the permits yet for start coming in, but we know that some of these other stores, there's one over there by Walmart that's going to open up in that vacant building over there, another retail in that area.
The place right here on Broadway in Sylacauga. You know,
We had a council meeting there yesterday.
Yeah?
Not council, we had the...
that is a beautiful facility there.
It is. They've done a wonderful job with it. The ones who run it, they had a dream, and it worked out good. But I think the overhead and everything is a little bit more than they can take.
Yeah.
There's just not that much rental in it, you know.
And you hate to see that, you know.
Well, you do. We had the Chamber of Commerce. We had our meeting there yesterday. It was real nice and very nice. I don't know how they came out with. They had a dance there for Valentine's. I don't know how that came out.
It's you know, that's a dream that someone dreamed, and sometimes it doesn't work out.
Well, it doesn't, and they haven't given up.
Yeah.
They'll try to relocate somewhere.
Sylacauga Mayor Jim Heigl, our guest this morning on this Tuesday at about 15:30 now after the hour. Great job by Coosa Valley Medical Center and the health department here in town of getting these inoculations done.
Oh, it is wonderful, the job they've done, you know, and percentages are way down. I think that it's down less than 10-15% now out of all they test and everything. Well, it was up to over 40 at one time. But the amount they've got, I think they have one on respirators, they had two in ICU.
It's amazing, you know.
Yeah, it is. But we got to hang on. We got to do everything we can to keep our hospitals. One of the 10 top hospitals in the state of Alabama. And it's not just for Sylacauga, it's for Childersburg, Talladega, the whole surrounding area, Coosa County. Everybody within 30, 40 miles comes here. And that's what makes our city so...
If I've been asked this question one time, I've been asked 25 times in the last month. Well, they seem to be slowing down over there on 280 about that grocery store that's supposed to be going in over there. Any news on that?
Well, they're still working. They still haven't finished the stuff. If you see some more tiles out there or tubing and everything else for drainage and all, that still has to go in. The weather held them up. That's all it was, the weather. Yeah. And we had some rain, and they couldn't work the soil, and they had to let it drain down, had to let it dry out, and then they had to dig again. They put the
grocery store's still coming, right?
Yes. Plans, they haven't told us exactly when. We're still looking for the electronic prints on the building itself.
They're going to be this year?
Oh, absolutely. I hope so. I hope I go down there this morning and look on the computer and find it. So we're very anxious to get this. You know, it's going to mean a lot. We got growth in Sylacauga. We've been very fortunate that Coosa Valley and the way our people have handled this COVID thing. They worked so well together on it, and they understood the situation. Our school system, they really get. Wow. It was rough on these kids not to be able to be with their constituents, knowing the classes and everything else is real hard, but they're starting to come back in again. It's just like the storm, you know. We weathered the storm, we'll get through it. Things are going to get better.
Yeah, and you said that from the start. Back in March when this first hit, you were one of the cheerleaders that, hey, we're going to get through this.
Well, we are, Nothing's ever going to be the way we want it, but we're going to move forward.
Well, you mentioned this a couple of times. One good thing about, if there's anything good coming out of this, is our tax revenue base has gone up.
Well, it has, you know. Our tax revenue has gone up. It stays that way. It gives us time, and the more retail we get here, sort of like a grocery store or something like that, the more people's going to come to Sylacauga. And Resolute's got some big plans over there in Childersburg. Things are growing. And we got some good people in office. We got a good Philip Morris helping us in the south end of the county and clean up. We got volunteers out there picking up rubbish. We're going to be working with them, and also the Philip Morris County Commissioner has come to us at the city and showed what the county's doing. And this is basically what we did before the virus. The Beautification Council, we got materials from PALS, People Against Litter in Alabama, and or the state. And we went into the schools with this about 4 years ago, you know, gave them bags, and we educate the kids, listen, about littering. And then they go home and put the pressure on their parents not to throw the stuff out the car when but all that is great, and that's another thing that the Talladega County is doing for us, you know.
Yeah, that's been a real struggle for us.
It has. And
littering here.
the cops can't do it all. The police can't cover it all. It's going to take everybody working together and make this happen.
Yeah, and you see people that are out picking up garbage, picking up trash, and the sad part about it, Mayor, and I mentioned to one of our guests, is on just talking about that very thing. You know, you work real hard, and the next day you're disappointed because there it is again.
It is. And we got the laws, we just got to get them enforced. It's going to take time.
Yeah.
And it's going to have to educate the people like that. The state, we got, 3 state highways coming through here. The state got anywhere from $100 to $500 fine for littering on the state highways. The city of Sylacauga got a up to $500 fine on littering in the city.
And before we
but
go,
you got to catch them.
I forgot about this. I want to mention this before we go. You were one of the very first one to say, hey, we need to do something to honor Ron Johnson, and we've done that with that road.
We've done. They got the road named after him, thanks for the county and all. They worked real hard to get this done. The signs are up, and God rest his soul, he's been a great asset. And now Ben is in here now, and he was at our safe meeting yesterday along with the chamber meeting there, and he's going to be a great asset to us. He got a big shoes to fill, but it looks like he's hitting the road running.
No doubt about it. Sylacauga Mayor Jim Heigl, our guest this morning. Mayor, always a pleasure, sir.
Well, it's my pleasure, too. Thank you so much, Jimmy Dale. Appreciate it.
Daybreak right after this.